Good morning. It's Tuesday, or actually Wednesday, January the 21st. I'm Will Puckett. Thanks for joining us for Catch Up Quick right here on WVLT Plus. We're going to start things off a little bit different than we normally do. Belle's joining me right here at the desk as we, Belle, prepare for whatever Mother Nature has in store for us. We would have roughly in the past 30 minutes just gotten new model data. What are we looking at?
Yeah, we are starting to see a northern trend for one of our models, the European model, showing that we could see maybe more of an icier solution rather than all snow. And it's very challenging because it all depends on the low pressure system. And if that moves further to the north, we're looking at more ice. If it stays further to the south, we're looking more towards snow. Hoping and praying that it stays further to the south because I do not want ice.
For once, you want a system to work to our south. You don't want it to work to the north, which is kind of crazy. And I think that might be what some people are struggling with is normally you want, hey, let's push this weather to the north. That's not good for us. Yeah,
no, we at least want it to stay further to the south, or if we could get more of that warm air aloft and maybe change it all to cold rain. But I do think at least something snow and ice or a mix is going to happen this weekend. The question now is not, is it going to happen? Is it, what are we getting? You know, like if we're getting snow, if we're getting ice. And I know a lot of people have been wanting, you know, snow totals and ice totals, and we're not ready to get that out yet because everything's still flipping and flopping. And that's one of the challenges when the winter weather forecasting is that it's so hard. It's so challenging because it all depends on temperatures and where that low is.
So the rest of the day, what time do more models come out? What are we looking at where we might get a little bit better picture as we build upon towards the weekend?
Yeah, there's one more model coming out this morning, and then the next European model, the one that I was talking about that it's shifting, that comes in after lunchtime. Okay. So have more updates. I think I'm doing another 2 o'clock thing with Harry today, so that I'll show more of that later.
Cool. She'll have that on WVLT Plus. She'll also have your full forecast coming up here in just a second, but let's move along. Now, Belle already outlined it, the possibility of snow or ice or cold rain. No matter what, TDOT's getting you ready to make sure that your roads are safe. The Tennessee Department of Transportation is pre-treating the roads with salt brine ahead of everything that's going to fall. Mark Nagy from TDOT's Region 1 that covers almost all of East Tennessee says that they receive shipments of salt all throughout the year to make sure that they're ready for this winter weather. After the snowfall, Nagy says that TDOT crews are going to be out and about putting salt down on the snow. Hopefully that's what they get to make sure that it melts and get things back to normal. But Nagy says no matter what, TDOT's ready to go.
We're continuing to monitor weather forecasts with local meteorologists, National Weather Service in anticipation of this winter weather that it looks like we're going to be getting in a few days. Of course, weather forecasts do change, so we will adjust our game plan as necessary.
Yeah, TDOT says that staying home this weekend might be the best option because the roads are going to be either chock full of snow, chock full of ice, maybe just wet from rain. We're going to see as the week unfolds. Now, cold temps, winter weather may have you a little bit worried about your car, maybe. Auto and tire shops are warning you. Make sure that you're prepared if you do have to drive. Our Aaron Rodgers is speaking with Fisher Tire about what they see in this weather.
Now, this is exactly what you don't want to happen, a flat tire, especially as winter weather starts to roll in. That's what Ray Fisher at Fisher Tire is warning people, things that you need to be aware of, especially as this winter weather is coming in, your tire pressure, the tread on your tires, but also things like windshield wiper fluid. Ray Fisher says a lot of people forget certain things when it comes to their cars, right? And you forget to maybe fill up with gas or things like that. But he says a lot of people wait till the last second, and that's something that you definitely need to not do, especially with everything coming in. But he said there's a lot of things that you need to remember. Now, if you want to avoid getting a flat tire as well, you might want to make sure to maintain your air pressure as well. Cold temperatures can make that drop, so he says constantly making a check on that is something that's very, very important. And also gas, you don't want to get stuck somewhere with no gas in your car. Just a reminder for you, I mean, Fisher Tires said they have been a little bit busier, but he does expect people to wait. So if you need something wrong with your car, any kind of electrical issue, anything like that, make sure to get that fixed before we're seeing that winter weather come in. In Knoxville, Aaron Rodgers, WVLT News.
Yeah, good reminders there from Aaron and the team over at Fisher Tire. Now, the weather team again also saying to make sure that you do everything in advance to get ready for this winter weather event, to make sure that maybe you might be stuck in the house for a while. The National Weather Service is also saying it's important to be ready for whatever the weather throws at us. Gas up your car, get any groceries you might need, and make sure that you have all the medications you could possibly ask for as you may be stuck for a little while.
Simple things that, if we have that kind of weather, make sure that, that you're not traveling unless it's just an absolute have-to situation. Make sure that you have essentials, if you have, you need water and maybe some snacks and some easy prepared food or meals.
Yeah, as we get closer to this thing possibly popping off, make sure that you can stay up to date. You can download the WVLT News App in the Apple Store and Google Play Store. We'll send you any breaking news notifications. We'll make sure that you are up to date on school closings, delays, local warming shelters that'll be open. Everything you need to know will be stashed into that WVLT News App and streaming right here on WVLT Plus. Now, warming centers have been pretty busy the past couple of days getting ready for the winter weather and still housing people as it's been cold. Vestal United Methodist Church in South Docks is collecting supplies and donations for folks who need a warm place to stay in warm clothing. The church is also working with the Knoxville Area Transit, or CAT, to offer free bus rides to warming shelters. They want to make sure that no one is stuck outside in the elements.
Very imperative to get what you need and to come in and not be scared of a shelter, whether it's a regular shelter or, the warming centers, because it's better than you not waking up.
If you do need a warm place to sleep tonight, there are several options in Knoxville. Relaunch Center on North Broadway is open every night, regardless of the temperature. In Monroe County, the county sheriff's office jail lobby is open whenever the temperature falls below 32 degrees. You can find an entire list of warming shelters open right now inside your WVLT News app. Now, you can always find a full list of delays and closures again inside that app. Meteorologist Belle Oliver and Harry Sullivan will be live right here on WVLT Plus, like Belle said, at 2 o'clock this afternoon. That's with the latest model data to the minute and any other additional information we have for you on this winter weather. Let's get to Belle.
And now, your first alert forecast with meteorologist Belle Oliver.
We are inching closer and closer to that bread and milk alert as we work towards the weekend. I will say I have plans to go to the store today, and I'm fully expecting there to not be a lot of groceries there. Well, look how widespread this storm is, though. We've got winter storm watches all the way from Middle Tennessee, North Alabama, towards Mississippi, and then back towards the west, all across Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Texas. We'll say I do expect more winter weather alerts and watches to be expanded eastward here in Knox County and potentially even further to the mountains. We have Cumberland and Fentress County under that winter storm watch as of right now, and that will go until Sunday night. Now, as far as the confidence goes, we are starting to get a little bit more clarity, especially as we look towards tonight and then especially tomorrow morning as we get some of that high resolution data. But we know for a fact that the bitter cold's going to be there even beyond this system, looking towards next week, temperatures 30s and mornings into the teens, possibly single digits. And we do have a good amount of confidence that at least something's going to happen this weekend. I mentioned this before. The real question now is, where is that going to be? Where is that rain snow line going to be adding up? And how much amounts are we talking about? And it really just depends on this low pressure system. That's the thing driving this, and also that colder air. So I mentioned this before. We've got two possible scenarios here. I'll mention the first scenario that would be a little bit better for us. The best scenario here is that this low pressure system will stay further to our south. If this stays further to our south, we're looking more of a snow event here in Knoxville. However, if the low pressure system continues to push a little bit further to the north, this rain, ice, snow line is going to shift further north too. So that looks like we could be dealing with more of a sleet, freezing rain event. This is what that model is showing. This is the newest European model from last night, showing that rain and snow continuing to work through here Saturday morning and continuing into Saturday night. Notice that warm nose pushing in Saturday, showing that pink for that ice here in East Tennessee, and potentially even just some freezing rain and cold rain working towards Sunday morning, where we've got that heavier snow off towards the north and parts of the Ohio Valley. We'll continue with rain, sleet, and that potential for freezing rain early Sunday morning. Now, this is one model run. We're going to continue to see if this trend holds true as far as things shifting northward. For today, though, we've actually got another rain chance to talk about, especially this afternoon. This morning, it's a cold morning here in Knoxville, 28. We've got mid-40s out towards the Cumberland Plateau with a few clouds. Now, we'll see those clouds continue to build in, and notice we have the rain off towards our west in parts of Nashville. I expect this rain showers to move in, especially in the late afternoon hours today. Think 3 or 4 o'clock. Notice temperatures back into the 50s and 40s this afternoon, so you're not expecting any winter weather besides maybe a few of those snowy showers in the Smokies later on tonight, and then maybe just a cold rain here into the valley. We'll hold on to clouds going into Wednesday night and Thursday, and we wake up with temperatures into the 30s. And then after this system, we're just really looking ahead towards this weekend for that winter weather threat. Still having those 2 first alert weather days for both Saturday and Sunday. And then notice next week, temperatures only into the low 30s for afternoon highs, mornings into the teens, which could prolong some of this winter weather impacts as far as icing on the road. So we'll keep a close eye on those temperatures.
Yeah, walloped by winter weather and then cold temps on the back. Not great addition. All right, Belle, appreciate it. Well, the Knoxville Police Department searching for a man right now who they say fired a weapon while fleeing from a traffic stop this morning in the 1800 block of Linden Avenue in East Knoxville. Police say the man was a passenger in the vehicle that was being stopped by officers when he ran from the car and fired that gun. The search is ongoing right now. Police ask for any information to pass that along to him. Well, a Knoxville man is facing charges after a shooting in Merrillville. The Blount County Sheriff's Office says deputies responded to a shooting at a home on Garrett Lane Thursday evening. They say they found a man who had been shot in the leg multiple times. Deputies believe there was a domestic assault involving a woman that led to the shooting. BCSO says Orlando Witherow was arrested by U.S. Marshals Friday. He's charged with attempted murder, among other charges. And the Knoxville City Council has approved more than $9 million for KPD to get 12 new drones. Some other gear, too. Knoxville police say this will be a big resource in responding to any type of crime in the city. Officials with KPD say the drones can get to a scene in about 1 minute and let officers know what the scene looks like before they respond accordingly. On top of those 12 new drones, the $9.4 million will also go towards docking stations for the drones, as well as additional body and dash cameras and tasers from Axon Systems. It's all part of building on the department's real-time information center. The drones would not be used to respond to anything but scenes, so they would not be just out and about checking in on you. Once they're up and running, you'll be able to see why one of the drones might be in your area.
Will be a public-facing dashboard where people can look online on our website, and they can see anytime the DFR is launched, how long it ran for, the flight path it took, and what it was launched for.
Again, this is the first step. The department still has a little bit of work to do. Scott Erlin with KPD, who just heard from, says we likely won't see any drones around for at least another 6 months.
We the People, celebrating 250 years of America. Sponsored by Garza Law Firm.
On this day, January 21st, 1954, the world's first nuclear-powered submarine was launched. The USS Nautilus was launched into Connecticut's Thames River by the U.S. Navy. The Nautilus would go on to break many previous submarine records, including traveling more than 1,800 miles in 4 days under the Arctic polar ice cap. Good stuff right there. Well, thanks for joining us for WVLT News Plus. Remember, you can stay up to date all the time inside WVLT News' app, on WVLT.tv on your desktop, and on all of our social media pages. A reminder, Belle and Harry will join you at 2 o'clock right here on WVLT Plus with all you need to know about the winter storm that's set to move into East Tennessee. We'll see you here tomorrow.